Hello and welcome to the Robo Samurai channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you the Transformers Legacy Leader Class Blitzwing. And here he is, and this is the box. The box has this really cool artwork on the front, and it has him in his robot, tank, and jet mode. And you can see some of the same artwork here, at least it sure looks like it. Maybe it isn't, this looks like close-up stuff. Maybe this is the same thing as the front. Okay, yeah, it sure is. And then here's the back, and it shows you all the things he can do. And he's got a QR code here for his tech specs. I'll put that link in the description of this video. And yeah, so there's what we're dealing with. I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. And so my copy came with... it came with two guns. And I think that that's what it's supposed to come with. Two of the same guns here, and you can post they both have the same posts on them, so you can attach them to any of these 5mm ports here that are on the side of his arms. And he also comes with his sword right here, and you can see it's purple. It's actually a softer plastic, so it's bendy. And then yeah, it's painted silver on the top here, and then you can mount it using, you can hold it in his hand, or you can mount it using that little peg on the side of the sword here. So yeah, that's pretty cool stuff for his accessories. The other thing it comes with are these things here, and they are like giant hands. So you can take these Generjon hands here, and then you can turn, according to directions, turn his fist sideways, and then you can mount them on here, and it's like he has gigantic hands. Yay. Let's see here, is that how that works? Okay, maybe it goes here. Yeah, it's supposed to go here. Let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah. So there's a little post on the inside here, and you're supposed to have him just hold on to that, and then it looks like he has gigantic hands. Well, these hands are kind of, I don't know, they're interesting. I probably won't be using them much at all, but let me show you how these things store together. There is a peg right on the inside of these. This is where he would grab onto it like he is here, and then you can store it by plugging this post in, the post into this slot here, this hole here, not a slot, and then it will just peg in that way. And then what you do is you take these apart, and then you do this, and you can see it has like two thumbs, okay? And then you can have him do the same thing here, turn his hand sideways, and then he can kind of hold it, and then yeah, and you can say he has gigantic Energon hands. Personally, this is not an accessory that I'm interested in using, but just in case you wanted to, the option is available. So I'm going to go on ahead and put these aside. You're also able to mount these in jet mode by adding these to the back of the jet, mode. Let's see here. I think on the back of the box they kind of show you this here. So they show you the picture here, and then they show you you can add it like thrusters in the back here, or you can add them to the side of the tank like missiles. So yeah, if that's kind of an interesting thing you want to do, you can go on ahead and do that. So in the meantime, I'm going to be putting these in here, and yeah, so we'll just kind of leave these off to the side. And these are both made out of clear red plastic, and this is painted purple on the top, nothing on the hands themselves. So that's what you have in terms of accessories. So let's take a closer look at this figure. And what we got going on here is a really good looking head sculpt. Probably the best looking Blitzwing figure we've had like in a long time, if at all. So yeah, he looks really good. He's got swivel wrists, as I was demonstrating here. So and then he has these, you know, his shoulders, they don't really move all the way around, so that's kind of an so all you're going to get is you're going to get bicep swivel, and you're going to get a range of motion out to the side, and then that's it. he doesn't go backwards or forwards and can't circle around or anything like that. However, his legs are a different story. He can do the full splits here, and he can do a partial split here because these flaps lift up, so you can kind of get him like running anyway, kind of like that. So that's what we got in terms of leg articulation. Actually, there is you do have a little bit of thigh rotation, but that's from here. It's on a joint that allows you that, and you do get that much knee bend right here, so you can do things like that. You also have the ankle tilt, but you don't really have a toe thing, even though this is part of the transformation joint. It's really difficult. Make sure you move that first, but it doesn't really, it's like hard ratcheted. So, and since these peg into these, you kind of have to break that open a little bit in order to get that going. His head is on a ball joint. Pretty cool. And it's all painted up, and you can kind of see it right here. Yeah, so it's yellow and red and silver. Very cool. Very, very Blitzwing colors. You know, those are the things you want to see on a Blitzwing. That's what we got going on there. Yeah, by the way, these flaps, they do lift up all the way, so you can do that kind of a motion there. So if that's useful to you. Okay, so, but these shoulders do not move. Do not move at all. Here's what it looks like from the back. And yeah, so he's got some pretty cool Decepticon symbols that show up here. These are actually on the wings. And then he has one back here, which is really for the tank mode. Any of these ports can be used to store his weapons, so that's a thing as well. So kind of like that. So let's take a quick look here. And I did mention the waist swivel, right? Because everyone needs to see that. All right, and that's a good thing because I like waist swivel. So let's compare him to his former self. So here is the Titans Return version of him. And what they did with this figure is they tried to make him more like the toy colors. So that's what you're looking at here. In terms of like, there's no wrist swivel or anything like that. And the colors are okay, you know. You get some of these stickers on the back of his wings to give him kind of that toy look, you know. So there are no repro labels or anything like that on here. So yeah, or any Toy Hacks labels or anything like that. So that's kind of what you're dealing with. And you know, his shoulders kind of look like this. Now the Japanese version of this, which I also happen to have, let's go ahead and put these guys here, all three of the Blitzwings together, and you can see what they did here. This here, they wanted to mimic more of the cartoon colors, so you get more of the gray and well, whatever this is. This is beige, I guess. Yeah, more of the beige and more of the light purplish color. But his face looks closer to this face in terms of coloring. So this one here, like I said, purple, because that's, I think, what the original toy had in terms of that. So yeah, some little bit of comparison here, just in case you haven't seen those before. So we'll go ahead and put these aside, and now that we've taken a quick look at this figure, let's go ahead and transform him. So I'm going to transform him into, I think it's jet mode. Let's see how we do with that first. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lift up this. So this here is like a panel that fits over it. And what we're going to do, hold on, let me lower this just a touch. There we go. So the panel it's like a panel, so you got to kind of force this up and over, and that's going to release all of that there. So be careful you don't scratch the head. It's painted there. This is on a double joint, so we're just going to lift it up. We're going to leave that there for now. Let's work on the arms. So the arms, we're going to lift up here, and there's this panel here, and we're going to slide this out of the way, and we're going to turn it like so. Let's close in the wrist here. And then we're going to turn this panel all the way up this way and line this up like this. So the panel should fit right into the shoulder area right here. So that's us getting this ready. So let's do the same thing on the other side. A little bit here, turn. Let's flip this in, and then go the rest of the way here, and then just make sure that this all kind of fits together here. Now, we're going to pull these away, and you'll see that there is a tab right there that tabbed into that slot there on both sides. Be very gentle when you do this, and we're just going to leave it right here for the moment. Now, we're going to take this. There's actually a panel in front of his head here. And we're going to flip this around. And actually, let's flip it around this way. And then we're going to close this back up. And there's 2 pegs, 2 slots. And then we're going to open up this bottom here, because that's actually a faux cockpit. Flip this nose cone out, and then go on ahead and close that back up. There we go. That's pretty much done there. So let's now work on this part, his legs. So what we want to do with the legs is we want to... Okay, let's move this out of the way. You'll see that these wings are wrapped around to cover the legs. So, and they kind of peg in like this here. So you'll have to unpeg it. And actually, mine doesn't really unpeg. It just barely sits there, but go on ahead and unpeg that and then fold it out like that. Okay, and then we're going to pull this wing, this back wing here. We're going to pull it away from the foot because we're going to collapse these just like that, and then bring it back like that. So let's do the same thing on the other side. Open up this. Undo all of this, open up that wing, close this up, the thruster, and then bring it back up like that and bring that up there. So now the next thing we want to do, now that we have all this, is that these here are, these knees here, the knee joint here, it's going to be tabbed in there, and you can see how it tabs in right here. And then that's actually another double joint right here. So what we want to do is collapse both of these. Do the same thing on the other side. And there, we're going to do that. So, and then we're going to take these and tab the, see how the thrusters have opposing set of tabs? We're going to collapse them and snap those in together there. And then we're going to take the arms and we're going to fold these back down. And like this, and then this will snap here, and then you'll see this right here. This tab will go into that slot right there, and just be careful with the alignment and make sure it's right on. It's a real tight fit, and when I do this, I'm not a fan of doing it actually, because it's very it's pretty tight. So there, they will fit, just be careful, you know, that there we go, just put it in the right spot there. So now we have all that. These should kind of these arms should kind of fit into these, and I don't know if they tab in exactly. No, but they do line up, so just line them up and make sure we can get all that in there. So, and then make sure all of the rest of the legs are tabbed in properly. So you saw how I pushed that the rest of the way. Then we're going to take these flaps here and flip them forward to finish out and fill out those wings, just like that. Okay, so now we've got the bottom piece here, and these are faux wings. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flip them over, and you can see the slot and the tab. So we'll slot and tab it. Slot and tab this as well, and then we're going to collapse this here, and it should fit over this, and this what was the chest piece should slot into those tabs, should slot into there. So close that up, give that a pinch, then come back here, and you'll see it, you do the same thing, that there's actually there's two areas here, so we're going to make sure that they get locked in there. Oops. That's supposed to go smoother than that. Okay, let's lift that up, and there we go. Cool. Now, just give that a nice little squeeze. Make sure that these slots tab into the arm pieces there. And do the same thing here. Okay. All right, and I think that's about it. And generally speaking, if this came out, this landing gear came out, that's fine. But if not, you can just kind of move this barrel out of the way, and then you can pull it out. And I think that's pretty much it. That's Blitzwing in his plane mode. And yeah, it looks good. This is quite a lot of stuff on the bottom. We'll call it kibble. But it's yeah, I still like it. It it works for me. It's a pretty good looking thing. Now, if you wanted to kind of recreate his guns on the side, actually that's pretty easy. Just take his guns and tab them in underneath the wings, and then you'll have that there. You can have that one there, and you can have that there. So that kind of, I guess maybe that's the reason why they give you two guns. So. But you can kind of see how that all lines up like that, and you can store the sword on this as well. I'm not sure. I can lift up this wing here, and you can actually put it here, and it'll tab in, and then he kind of looks like that. So yeah, it is possible to store those things here. And no, I'm not talking about these here. I think. You're supposed to tab them in underneath this. You're supposed to open up these here, and then you kind of add them as boosters in the back, kind of like that. Maybe even lifting both of these up, and then you can take this out, I think, and flip it like this, and then he's got all sorts of, and you can do this twice, right? You can just do it here and then plug that in. He's got big old boosters. So yeah, and then close this down on top of it, I think. Again, I'm not a fan of this particular accessory. Yeah, it doesn't want to really close down, so, but you can kind of get the general idea with these. So yeah, but what do I think so far of this particular mode? Yeah, it's a good mode. I think that it pulls it off particularly well. This is a really dark purple, and I like that. That's not bad, So, yeah, this works for me. All right, so let's work on getting him into tank mode, because that's what everyone else wants to see right now. So let's see here. Let's take off the sword and then the guns. There. All right. Let's see if I can remember how to do this now. So what we want to do is we actually want to undo this thing again. This double jointed, thing here. All right. So we've got that, and then we want to tuck this nose cone back inside. So let's get that in here, and then we'll close that up and close that like that, and we'll leave that there. All right, so the next thing is we want to pull these. I think we have to pull this out here. Whoa. Like this. And yeah, we'll pull these over to the side. Hold on a second. Let's work on it this way. Okay, so these are going to come down, but we're not going to snap them down yet. And then we're going to open up this, and you'll see that they're tabbed together here. So there's one there, and then there's one on this side here. So now what we want to do is we're going to pull this entire assembly back over here. I think actually what we need to do is we're going to have to fold these wings up. So let me undo the arms here, move that around, and that. And when you get this, they kind of show you in the instructions that you're going to be doing this in a from robot into a different into like tank mode, and then into that mode. But I think that's kind of fun. So now once we've got these in lined up, and then we folded up the wings again, we're going ahead and re-tab these together, and then we'll flip these down, and there is a little tiny tab here and that there, so that's why that fits. So that's kind of just to store those silver wings away. So we've got those. All right, so now I believe we're going to take this and we want to pull these up. So kind of like we had it in robot mode. So we're going to pull them so we're kind of looking at the figure like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to collapse, I believe, this here. Yes, we're going to collapse this here. Okay, so, oops, except make sure you don't have that in the way. We're going to collapse this back down here, and then I believe it's the same tab points here that we had before, and that looks good. And then what we want here is we want to make sure that these tab in on the front here, so we've got those. Now, these here, these tank treads are on a double hinge joint, so we're going to pull this down and we're going to pull it all the way around. So, oh, yeah, let me open up this here, this wing here. Yeah, let's open this up. And then we're going to pull these and snap them in here. So I believe that's how this goes. Yes. There. Okay. And then we put this here. Uh-oh. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Double hinge joint, pull it down, and make sure this wing is open. This faux wing, I should say. Okay, and then we're going to go like this. Okay. And there we go. So we've got them. Make sure your faux wings are folded down like this. And then what we're going to do is going to take the turret is also on a double hinge. So you can see it there. Open this up. Close it down like that. Then we're going to open up this panel and flip out the barrel. And then do that number right there. Turn this around. And is this it? I think this is it. Let's take a look here. Make sure everything is lined up appropriately. Yep. Looks like everything's lined up appropriately. And there we go. Here's Blitzwing and his tank mode. And yeah, it's a tank mode, all right, and it's and it works. You know, it's pretty decent, and you can also mount the guns here. Unfortunately, these don't want to really tab in, so that's kind of an oddity. Let's see here. Make sure I got this correct. Yeah, let's double check and. Yeah, that's, I think, yes, this is the way it should be. We have all these lined up, and then make sure that's in there. So, yeah, so that's it. Yeah, the tank mode is, okay, so that's the way it should be right there. And just make sure that it's kind of like this, and it's a little bit more solid that way. So, there, that's better. So it should be underneath this flap that we had moved before, should be there. Anyway, so there we go. Yeah, and I think that this is a decent tank mode, although a lot of people I know complain about this sticking out here. I think it's all right. I don't have any issues with this, and at least you can adjust the tank barrel up and down, so that's pretty nice. And it does swivel all the way around, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And then of course with any of the mount points, you can peg these in here, and you also have the option, I think, of adding these on. And if I look at it really carefully, yeah, they kind of just have these hanging out in the back. So you've got I think these tabs here. Is that it here? I think this is it. No, these tabs here, I see. And then you can see, yeah, they can kind of go in there, and you can use them like, I guess, missiles, or they're like missile arrays. So, yeah, that kind of looks cool on this mode, so I'll go for that. Yeah, and then you just mount those like that, and so you get that kind of look going on there. So Yeah, not too bad. Not too shabby, actually. So, there it is. But I kind of prefer him in his tank mode like this. You know, no weapons attached, no nothing. I just, you know, I kind of dig that mode. That's really cool looking. So, yeah, I think that this is a pretty good figure. I picked it up from Walmart and keep looking for him out there because it took me a while to find him, but I eventually did. And yeah, I think he'll also be available at Target as well, and you're also some of your online retailers. So that's what we got going on here. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys next time.